Do you know what the word con comes from? Con man? It comes from the word confidence. It's a confidence man. Long cons take very, very long periods of time.
Hey everybody, I am Tommy and you are on the lifeboat.
Short cons, a person in a really nice outfit goes in front of something like a casino or whatever, and he's cursing and running his fingers through his hair and freaking out, and he wants to be spotted. If I could get $5 grand to get back in there, and then he says, hey, my watch is worth 35. You're not asking for their confidence. You're giving them confidence. You say, all right. So you get back out there and you go, look, man, you get just $5 grand, right? He goes to the bank, he gets the $5 grand. Well, while he's doing that, you swap out, obviously, for the fake. That's called a short con.
Hey, hello. Here we are. I played that amazing new intro and it just got stuck. And so sorry about the black screen, but I decided to try doing the countdown and it worked. But we will have that fixed because that intro is amazing that a certain superstar that most of us know made for us. So, hi, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm really excited about today. I have two of my very dearest friends that are here for part two of the exposing what I would call exposing the lie boat. And there's already been some talk of some resistance again, but oh well, we're still gonna talk about it. So without further ado, we have the fabulous the Heif. Hey sweetie, good to see you. And
And
her amazing fiance, Alan Valentine.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, hi. And I don't
How you
hear
doing?
any echo now. Is everybody else okay with the echoing? No
yeah,
echoing?
it's fine.
Okay, awesome. Hi, how are you both doing?
Good.
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 So I
Missing
looked
America.
I looked at our last, actually I have the links in the description. Our last interview that we did, we talk all the time, but
Mm.
was I think February 27th, I believe. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
So a lot has happened. And, we've talked about, I've gotten your reaction from some of the things that transpired since we talked, but I want to give you an opportunity to share with whoever sees this video, whether it's now in the chat, hi everybody, or watching on the replay. I want to go down some of the things that have happened, and if you think of anything, and anybody in the chat, if you have a question or comment, we've got Giorgio in the back. Put question or comment. We'll try to get to as many as we can. But we did our interview. So this was, oh God, it's got to be over 2 months ago now.
Mm.
And barely a day goes by that I don't see someone in the chat or somebody in my comments or email or whatever mention Alan and Heif, you too, that you help them by coming forward, that your interview and your honesty and your vulnerability has helped so many people to either leave or process what had happened to them while being in the lifeboat. And also, I'm lifting my moratorium on speaking about Relatable Reese. She seems to be, still every few days inserting herself back into this whole situation, talking about Tommy and all that. And so, yeah, I if you keep doing silly stupid things, you're going to end up back on the radar. That's all I could say about that. So is there anything that you, before I start my questioning, is there anything either of you want or both want to say in introduction to this whole thing?
Oh, thanks, Alan. Throw me under the bus.
Lady first.
Well, I think no matter how many times we can tell some people and get the word out, there's always going to be that few who do not want to believe it, whether they're embarrassed for staying so long or they've got dirt on them or however it works out. But we just wanted the people who, we knew that actually mattered to all of this to know the truth. And I'm glad it turned out the way it did. I mean, I'm very happy about that. I don't like taking all the credit for it. I think, Barb Sylvie, she kind of broke the cherry doing that little interview. And then, Night Porter, all the FTG guys, which I think, obviously by now everybody's given them credit enough. They were the ones in the beginning. And
Absolutely. Yep.
and I'm telling you, it's exhausting. It is, and I'm not even doing anything. It's just exhausting. I do not know how Goot and Night Porter has been doing this for years. Thank God they have. Their persistence is amazing, and I commend them very much. And yeah, I don't like I don't I know a lot of people say that things to us and blah blah blah, but I just want to make sure you guys don't forget. Who started. Uh, showing us exactly who those people are.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Knife Order's been doing it. I've known him for a long time. I knew him when he started the lifeboat, and when he left, I didn't really know why. And obviously, I was blinded by Brett, and now I understand why. And it's credit to them guys that they've been going for nearly 4 years and haven't given up. And now it's all come to light that they were telling the truth, that it was a con, that it was, and I was part of that, and I didn't come out, to destroy him. I came out to let everyone know what he's like, and it's up to them to make their own mind. I'm disappointed that the channel's still going, because I just don't get how people can still watch him after learning the truth. That it's not maybes, it's been shown that it's the truth. So I don't get how people can still back him, but that's up to them. Everyone's got, it's free will, free choice. But I'm glad that people have had the chance to hear what he's really like and what she's really like.
Yeah. In your defense, or whatever you want to say in response, I should say, to some of the reactions that from both Reese and Tommy, or Marisa and Brett, however you know them or speak of them. I guess first of all, some of the things that you said were refuted, and I'll play that clip about his take on what happened in Mexico, smuggling things in his prison locker. And also, first of all, and it's happened today, there's already been some resistance. Some, I don't know if there's been any threats. I'm not going to put words in people's mouth, but there has been some messages put forth, like, because they know that you two are talking to me today. And for some reason, I've gotten no pushback except for when I have you two on. So I wonder why that is. And I guess today it's coming from Johnny, aka Kurt Miller, his brother, Brett's brother. And number one, I want to know what they have to hide. I wonder. Like, why would he be defending his brother? Except that he's his brother.
Well, the blood only goes so far. I mean, you stand up and be a decent person, and when this has come out and there's no disputing it, I don't care what anyone says, there's no disputing what happened. And to defend your brother that far is just ridiculous. I mean, blood, people say blood's thicker than water. Well, the right thing's the right thing. And, you can still be your brother, but don't forget that in the Long Con video, he was part of that. He was part of that. So
and he called him a scumbag, I think. I think Brett called Kurt a scumbag and saying that he was part of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he must have known what's going on with me as well. So, I mean, I don't know. And I'm saying, I like to deal with the facts. And what I showed before, what we showed before was facts. I don't know, but he must have known what was going on with me as well. And so I don't give him any time of day either. He's no better than his brother as far as I'm concerned.
Right. And speaking of giving anybody time of day, I don't want to rehash that too much, but this is the first time we've spoken publicly together about it, about the reaction of Reese accusing you, Alan, and us and me and Heif and my channel of putting her in danger. And I just want to hear your take on it. According to Casper, aka Tommy, Sammy of After the Bars, he said that he was helping her edit this audio. There was no mention of that screenshot that we showed where she had reached out to you a month prior asking for help.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. I mean, I don't get that. I didn't put her in any danger. I mean, I showed you. It was I couldn't believe it. And then don't forget, I had one of the mods message me, who is from Australia, 2 days or a day later or hours later, I can't remember, it's too far off, asked me, can I please respond to her? And that's when I said, no, I'm not, after what her boyfriend or whatever did to me. I said, I don't want to talk to her, and I'm not going to, I'll help anybody out, but I'm not going to help somebody out who like that. And that would have ended up badly for me, I think, if I did that. And I don't want to hurt, I don't want to hear from her. I don't want to talk about, I don't want to talk to her, and the height of it to actually message me wanting my help. No, it's not going to happen that way. I mean, I'll help anyone. I've helped people on the boat, but I'm not helping her. No.
And I think
the things that she did to Heif too.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, well, exactly. I mean, threw her under the bus, fat shamed her, all this sort of thing, and then denied it when it's on video. And then, and denied it. No, come on, girl.
Well, that's what she does. I think she honestly thinks that we are all ignorant out here and we cannot pick up on what she does, albeit some of them are because they're still there. But she does. She creates these situations and then she turns around and acts like it's no big deal. So, her life was so threatened, and she played that clip of Johnny threatening her. And then I guess apparently from what I've heard, all of a sudden they're the golden boys again. So I don't know, that's just, that's her MO. She creates drama to get the views and to get the likes. And you know what? If she would have come on there and said, hey guys, I'm a showman. This is going to be a show that, I'm make up scenarios so that we can laugh at or we can do whatever. That's a whole different thing. But to sincerely put the things that she does out to people and then turn around the very next day and say the opposite. Like, what the hell? Who in their right mind would still trust her?
She's crying wolf, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
it's typical. None of this has surprised me one bit. Not one bit. On her side and on his side, they're flailing. They're trying to recover what the audience that wised up and left. They're still going to do their manipulation tactics and their crybaby bullshit. I mean, it's ridiculous. Sorry.
This question just came up. I want to just pop this up because I think it fits what we're talking about. Maria, hey there. What does Alan and Hef think about the fact that they've forgiven each other and speaking highly of each other? No one can say anything bad about Brett on her channel now. Think they have a reunion coming?
I don't know. I mean,
If it means more ratings, more views, more whatever, then yeah, they'll have a reunion coming up. I think they played out the whole we're fighting and hate each other and for me. And so now they need another money-making venture. So it's going to be this great reunion. They're going to have this great revelation about life. They're going to change their channel steer it into a different, whatever. And it's just going to be a miracle, you guys. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Trust me,
Lots
people.
of miracles.
Trust me,
Wow.
people. Sorry, I don't do it as well as you do. The Hulk Hogan voice.
it's yeah, I can't believe it. And don't forget, you couldn't say anything bad on Reese's channel for months. Her mods just delete. Simple as that. I mean, there's no free speech in her chat. And when she does the free speech, she says, "Oh, you can come in and say whatever you want, and you won't be banned." And then she mocks everyone for not going in there. Well, why would you? Why would you waste your time? I mean, if she takes him, listen, I don't really care. They both deserve each other. I really don't care. I mean, I haven't watched him or her. Well, I never watched her to start with. I haven't watched him or her for months and months and months. I mean, all I do is keep eye of their viewer count, and it's going that way, not that way. So I'm happy about that. It makes me smile every morning when I look at it and there's dropped another 100 subs. I love it. Vindictive or whatever. I don't care. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I don't get people watching him, but his views have dropped. And he deserves it. I don't care. He's a con man. He'll never change. And people who are still in there, well, good luck to you.
Melissa said, just hopped on, so excited for this. Did you see she's on live and her thumbnail mentioned you? Oh, that's good. I'm not surprised she's on live.
That's what I'm saying. It's so, she looks so ridiculous, desperate, and petty. Like, oh my God, they're going on. So I'm going to go on and
That's
talk.
okay. There's something called the replay. You know, they're going to be rubbernecking over here.
It's funny to me. It's not even, she's ridiculous. And everybody sees she's ridiculous. The whole town sees she's ridiculous now.
Yeah, I don't care. Say what she wants. She's nothing to me. I don't care, and I'm probably nothing to her, so I understand that. But it's not about.
She's using us for ratings right now. She's using us for money.
For life. I mean, she doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, she'll never be anything to me. And for those who follow, good luck to you. I don't really care. They don't, unless they come after me. I don't.
Reese is running her mouth about it.
I see. Look, the thumbnail. The thumbnail says, "This is for the haters." I'm looking at you, Marilyn. How about you look at me, bitch? Don't look at Marilyn. Look at me. I mean, it's fucking hilarious. You cannot make this shit up.
I know, and don't forget the date.
Okay. Do we want to shift to? So first, I was gonna play the part about the Cialis thing, but should we jump right to the "We're all married" clips?
The what?
She's talking about "We're all married." About the Chavez?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, we'll do that one. Okay. Since she's talking about me, I'd love for her to share some receipts, but you know what? She doesn't even know how to screen share because she's too damn lazy to even learn how. So, okay. So let me set this up. This is a channel. I've got this clip probably, or this link sent to me 5-6 times. I looked at it. This video I'm going to play part of. I did put the link below. This little disclaimer. I don't agree with most of these guys' videos. This guy, I mean, it's Sream of Justiceness. This one in particular, I felt like it was accurate. He brought the receipts. It's very well done. And so I am going to play some clips, but I'm not endorsing every video. This one is good. So here's to you, Reese, and here's the receipts.
If you're unfamiliar with what this story is even about, the quick synopsis is this: streamer gets offended, streamer gets confronted, streamer gets revenge, and in parentheses, manufactured drama. But let's walk through the experience together. March 19th, Reese goes to the city of Wartrace, Tennessee to share this little town in a restaurant, Chabby's Sweets and Eats, with her fans. Sounds nice and perfectly normal.
Look at that. You could get married in this tiny little ass thing. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do that this afternoon. You never know. Hamburger, steak with gravy, catfish and shrimp, country fried steak. Okay, nothing I would eat, but if I were looking for a man, I would bring him here. That's for sure. And I'm not looking for a man.
Wink, wink.
Okay.
I'm not looking for a man.
Let's go in.
She walks in, and the awkward meter goes to 10.
Is it going to weird you guys out that I'm talking? Okay. What?
We're all married.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks for making that clear. Guys, they're all married. Sorry, ladies. They saw me at Home Depot, probably.
One of the guys says, "We're all married." To me, this means our small town with a population of about 700 is aware of Reese and the man-hungry type of discussions she has with her viewers, and they really aren't into it. However, Reese doesn't let this snipe at her go. She still has things to say about those guys, the town, and more.
How small is the town? I think 3 people live here. Is there a town tattoo shop, Raymond? There's no. This is the town, brother. Oh, this is where the walking horse show is? We don't support that shit. That's abusive. I don't want to go back in because these guys are weird and they make me feel uncomfortable and they need to finish their lunch and get the hell out of here. I think they're leaving, actually. Okay, good. Get the fuck out of here. We're married. Okay, I think they're leaving. God, they're not. They weren't even cute. Okay, we're safe. The married men left. We're married. Calm down. Hey, there's a guy. Wonder if he's married. Seriously, get over your life. I do not wear rings when I go out in public. I don't want to look like that weird dude screaming that he's married. Hey, here comes some guys. Ooh, I like the tall one. Never mind, he has a ring on.
That was 2 weeks earlier.
Okay, let me pause it there. So this gentleman that did this video, oddly enough, he must live near there because he went to the place. He said that it's about 1,000 square feet, which is, roughly half the size of my house. And, my house isn't huge. And yeah, it's a very small place. She claims certain things. I'm going to play that part of it as well. But that town has 600, I looked it up, 666, 666, the number of the beast. That's how many people are in that town. Mine is roughly the same, around 675, 700 people in my town. And you both have seen my town.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Yeah.
So can you imagine that scenario in my town with all the rednecks and the gun-toting guys? They would not take kindly to that whatsoever. So all the insults and how she acted, like what's your reaction to that?
I think she's obviously learned she can get away with shit. She went for how long before somebody actually called her out, And I really just don't think she cares. I don't think she cares. All she cares about is her YouTube job, because that's what she says all the time. And she will basically do anything to keep it going. And I don't think she cares about other people. She fake cares, but I don't think she has it in her to really actually care about people. I think we've seen it over and over and over again. Anytime, the minute you have any kind of disagreement with her, now I don't know now because I don't watch her, but she before it was just total. You go on and she would make fun of them. That's her thing. She makes fun of people.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that it's going to end up coming to a boiling point, especially because her stepfather is very well known there. And if it's not her mother and her stepfather that'll shut her up, then I'm sure the town will. And she just keeps making a bigger and bigger case for them.
Yeah, can you imagine her insulting this guy? Later on, we'll talk about that. Like she is on YouTube. with thousands of people. And it seems like that she's like, oh, they must have seen me at Home Depot. I'm sure they saw, yeah, I'm sure they're aware of her.
Sure
And
they
that's why
do.
we're like, we're married, get away, you know?
Yeah,
I know.
It's funny
know.
that she's live and you still have 220 people watching. This is a pretty small channel compared
Well,
to
that's what
hers. So
she's gone live just so that she takes views away from you. I mean, she's just a petty thing like that. I mean,
no.
nobody likes you. You can see that.
And I don't care if I don't make any money. I don't give a shit. She does. She
guys
does.
don't even
I
share
don't
the.
care if my channel tanks. I don't. I
That's the
honestly
thing. You
don't.
guys obviously barely share any viewers, right? I mean,
No.
most of the people that come
And
on.
I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to lose. And I have no history. And I've not gone out with a crim. See, this was going to be mostly about Tommy. But because she's live right now, shit talking me, we can make it all about her all day fucking long. You know, she wants
all
to start
she's
with
got
that.
to do is to come on here, and I'm sure she's throwing insults at all three of us right now. And I'm like,
I'm not calling her
that
any
is the
names.
most childish
Yep.
fucking thing
Yep.
to do. When you don't
Yep.
have an argument, when you know you were caught, or you know it, you know that you yourself are a liar, like she has got to realize by now. I mean, habitual liars, man, that's a big old can of worms, because a habitual liar will end up believing their own lies. But she has nothing else to, to say about it except to throw insults and to make fun of somebody. And I mean, and that's
Sorry, it's like because these are the comments.
I can't read. Yeah, I can't read them, but I had enough. I mean, I've met you and Duncan and your family, and obviously, and I've met Tommy, so I've met you in person, and your family. I've met you twice. I mean, you and Duncan came to stay with us in Ohio, and it's a lovely family. I mean, it's just like a home style family to me. I mean, and we'll when I get there, we'll come visit you. And I mean, and I like Duncan, and Duncan's a lovely guy, and your kids are just so
He
friendly.
really
And
likes you guys too. He was really excited that you were going to be on again.
they don't know you. I mean, they know you on here. They don't know your family. I do, and I've got nothing but good things to say. Duncan's a lovely guy, and I just won't take people doing that. And she just does that, and she's no idea. She has no idea, so she should shut her mouth. Simple as that.
Yeah, well, she didn't hurt my friends and just keep it up and then lie about them and lie about me, call me names. I don't call her names. I just bring the receipts. She doesn't answer any.
Well, it comes down to it.
Yeah, I've seen nothing about me. So brings the receipts about me. Prove that I'm lying. I'm not. I mean, I brought receipts. No one's ever come out and said I'm lying. I mean, he did. He said that he didn't or say that what we did in Mexico was not that, and we'll get to that. But he changed the story, and so nobody's come out and said I'm lying. No one's come out and said Stacey's lying. So and why is that? Because we're not.
Right. Yeah. This is a good point, Abraham. When I used to watch, she was consistently at 800 to 900 on a live.
Yeah, if not more.
Yeah. Now she's about down to 300 or 400. She used to get 10,000, 12,000 views. Yeah. Now she's like 3,000 or 4,000. And listen, like I said, I have nothing to lose. I have a life outside of YouTube.
Yeah.
And I don't have to lie. I don't even have to have a good memory because I'm not a freaking liar.
Yeah.
And it's just whatever. She can use us for fodder. I don't give a shit. Me anyways. She's using us for views right now, but she obviously hasn't taken all of them because we've got 215 people watching. So, which is a good number for this channel.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't.
So I had another clip of another part of that video I wanted to play, and then I wanted to ask you a couple things. Your reaction to this, and also a couple things about Tommy, because that's mostly what we were here for. But Reese wants to make everything about her, about his physical thing. I want to ask you about the hike. I want to ask you about Mexico and all that. But let's play the rest of this since Reese wants to be the star of the show. Okay, so there was. So he goes in there and basically dismantles her whole story because she's saying that she was all alone, that she was scared and she was way on the other side of the restaurant when it's like a fishbowl, and he was kind of proving it with his audio analysis. So you can look this up. Again, I have the link in the description. So the fallacies, I think this is a good recap of what he's saying.
I'm calling this section the fallacies because it's the only word I could come up with to consolidate the unexplained, the inconsistencies in the questions. There's no doubt that a man did confront Reese. That's known. But was it this violent verbal attack that caused Reese so much trauma and fear? Again, this is nearly impossible to edit in a concise manner. So here are the clips, the best I could do. Draw your own conclusion.
I was like, are these guys jesters? To me, it's pretty obvious. They were there because I was going to be there. How'd you know I was going to be there? Like, I just think it's a little too coincidental. You were waiting for me. You were waiting for me to get there. It's obvious to me that this guy was there waiting.
When in doubt, blame the jesters. Just saying.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
I almost spit my tea out.
ridiculous.
Wait, there's more.
For me. He was waiting for me to get there. And he just happened to be there, angry and ready to rock. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. The whole thing seemed very planned. It seemed very planned, a plan of attack. And yeah, he was just eating and suddenly flew into a rage. Seems to have been. Right? Like, am I crazy? That seems a little bit planned to me. One of these guys gets up from the table in the other room and follows me into the bakery by myself and corners me.
And then she had kind of like walked up and met him right where we are.
And he puts his hand in my face about to here, about an inch and a half from my face.
He did put his hand in her face, kind of like a hush, I'm trying to talk.
About here. He put his hand in my face like this. And he's in my face going, it was a joke.
And so he was like, okay, well, I'm going to say what I need to say and you're going to listen. And she didn't love that.
I wish you could have seen this dude doing this to me and in my face.
Because none of my customers downstairs were even bothered or like, what's going on? But
I want to say the owner came in. No, he turned around and walked away, and then the owner came in.
well, she claims that she was alone in the room, but I myself was right behind the counter with her.
Did the staff witness this? I don't know if they did.
But I myself was right behind the counter with her.
If he knew you were going to be there, that's stalking, right? Wow, he sends his daughter in to stalk you. I think I need to go report it, and I will bring my stream with me to show you what's happening in here, because I think this does kind of prove stalking. It is stalking. I agree. It's very stalking behavior. Hey, Galen, it is stalking. And now we hear that he's been leaving messages on your channel and they're in your chat. Yeah, I mean, that would be stalking. I would say that's stalking. But the fact that this dude showed up today or was there when I showed up and followed me into another room and put his hands in my face like that is way crossing a line. And I'm not going to stand for that. And he obviously had a problem with me just simply existing. And that's not going to fly. And I am going to go file a police report. So it's stalking. I made friends with a cop. I already reported this to my police officer friend, who is a police officer covering that jurisdiction. He said, but what you need to do right now is call the police and get at least a report on this guy. We want to get his information so that we have his first and last name. We need to get a cop out there right now and get a report. He said, you need to have a report taken so that we get this guy's information. But he said, we need to have his name and information for sure. But like my cop friend said, he goes, we just want his name. We want his information because this is a...
Okay, we're repeating ourselves here. Somebody talked about sourdough bread. So what are your thoughts seeing that again or not, or for the first time?
Ours or the audience?
Yeah.
What do I think? I think she, I don't know who it was that showed was it Barb? I believe it was Barb that was showing the text messages of talking about how her and Brett would get together and think of scenarios or dramas or things that could happen to get ratings. I mean, we've already seen that Brett made that fake audio that he was the AI or whatever, that he was a prison guard for Diddy or something like that. Mm-hmm. That's what they do. And that's what she continues to do. And then, like I said on the first live, now I've started following Brett before Reese, of course. So and it was Alan's best friend. So I kind of had like a really protective nature over him. More so than I did Reese when I was, and that hers was pretty bad. But I had in my mind that she was being a bad influence on him. Now, egg on my face and whatever. That was, I could kick myself in the ass for that. And I even told him so. But I have come to learn that they love this. They love creating these new scenarios and over the top, over dramatic. They know how to try to get these things together so that they can present it the next day and get those sympathy votes and those sympathy, super chats or whatever like that. She knows what she's doing. Okay. She's being dramatic and being over the top and embellishing everything. on purpose. She has an agenda.
Mm.
And what she's doing to these people were innocent people just trying to
Having
freaking
lunch.
eat their food.
Yeah.
Okay. And so she gets in their face and wants to put a camera on them. That definitely doesn't fly in a small town. They don't like cameras on them. You know what I mean? I understand. Well, I don't think anybody really does, but especially in a community that small, you just don't do that. She
was mocking them and
she
insulting their
has
town.
zero respect for anybody. Okay. She had no respect for them. And it's obvious I did watch this video, and it's obvious. I don't know if you have it queued up to where he shows the dimensions of the building to show that she was not alone. She did not walk all the way up the stairs and got cornered in a dark room.
Mm-hmm.
And people were present. I mean, that's up to you to play it, but I know that.
Yeah.
And that's what. So she's over, and of course, what? No motherfucking jester is gonna. They don't give a fuck about you, Reese. Jesus criminy, you're an idiot. Why would they? I mean, it's a jester in overalls. He just happened to live here all the time. Stupid.
Okay, let me get this part. I think this is it.
It's the hour and a half working up her audience about her safety, of defaming a man, of threatening police action, of spinning fear, and simply not being truthful. When I went to Chabby's, I didn't take any photos or video inside. I didn't want to be a disruption to the people eating. But being there, you realize how tiny this place is. I'm fairly certain I found the property info online stating one section is 627 square feet and the other is 462 for a total of about 1,089 square feet. My apartment in regard to floor space is bigger. Imagine having a restaurant and bakery in your apartment. This is a key factor to discussing the truth of what Reese said happened. Now, picture 6, 8, 10 people in there, including employees, and it's packed. We're talking about very small rooms, concrete and wood and brick, that reverberate and bounce sound around like crazy. And notice this, Reese tells her supporters that she went upstairs to the bakery, making it seem like a great separation between rooms. These are the stairs, 2 steps. One thing I did do while I was waiting for my amazing burger, I recorded audio to help give you an understanding of the ambiance, the atmosphere. Let's see if you think someone yelling and berating anywhere in this restaurant would be heard by others.
Someone over across the room was like opening a bag of chips or something, and you could totally hear it.
Yeah.
So it's a very small place, obviously.
Yeah, Constance June. That's what pisses me off too. Is they're trying to ruin somebody in a small town with those kind of accusations, just like she did with Hockeytown John. I mean, this is a pattern, you guys. It's an absolute.
And, she's got my name plastered all over. She's got 600 people watching. Good for her.
Let her. Because the thing of it is
she has nothing on me. And
well,
if she's trying to protect Tommy, good luck with that, because Tommy is a libel proof, meaning, his reputation's already in the toilet. He has not a leg to stand on.
Right. Think about that. She, like you said, this was not going to be a video about Reese, okay?
Nope.
Until she prompted it. And of course, it's going to give her good content. She's going to be boo-hooing or making fun or calling names. I don't give a fuck. I never gave a fuck. Only thing that I did give a fuck about is her showing that pic around, okay? Because it's illegal. It's fucking illegal, okay? I don't get my feelings hurt because she's nothing to me. She is nothing to me, okay? So if she is that bothered by me and Alan being on here, then that should tell you something. Do you know what I mean? We were gonna talk about the man that just scared her to death, the man that was supposedly coming to kill her, the man that did unmentionable things in front of her kid, the man that snorted whatever he snorted off of a dirty freaking toilet. I mean, come on. You would think that she would just sit back and be like, yeah, he is but no. because now they've got something going, something brewing to try to get them ratings. Let's just do this to keep up our ratings. And that tells you all you need to know about her. Look, if she was honest with everybody from the beginning or whenever she started trying to do her line scripts and stuff and said, oh, I'm going to do this, like I said before, and like some kind of satire. I know this isn't true, but it was funny. I think it's a complete, but it's, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting worked up. The lying to the people. Okay. That's what is pissing me off.
Yeah. I like the the idea that Stace had about the Reese seats. Well, she's over there getting what do we call them? Spite chats instead of super chats.
Oh yeah.
It's like, here's some grifter tag. Good, because I don't measure my success with dollars. I don't measure my value and my worth with dollars and with lies and with. She doesn't have any friends. She has terminals. She doesn't have any friends. She has followers. She has what do you call it? I think I even wrote it down. She has like these people that are like her handlers. She doesn't have moderators. She has handlers. She has assistants, free labor. And by the way, I hopefully I can find it, but I want to play you also. They've been joking about the NDA thing, but there was one part that she said she was not joking. She was dead serious. She was talking about her, quote, friends that have turned around and, showed receipts against her. She's going to put a stop to that because now her current friends are going to have to sign an NDA. No, those aren't friends. Why don't you pay them? Because those are employees. Because there was someone in my chat or in my comments the other day that said that they worked a party for the Kraft family, and there was Diddy was there, and all kinds of stars, and there was like Lionel Richie did the entertainment. They had to sign an NDA. They were getting paid to be there, serve, be servers, and they had to sign an NDA that they wouldn't take pictures and they wouldn't talk about it on social media. That's normal. But is she? I don't get, nobody knows who she is except for 18,000 people now, not millions and billions.
She's famous, Marilyn. She has to
She's
protect
famous in her town of 666 people.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what?
Exactly.
I'm known in my town, but I'm not known like that. That's for sure.
Well, if you didn't say anything bad about anyone, you wouldn't have to have an NDA or try and get an NDA, would you? I mean, you just don't say anything bad or untruth about it. Don't tell lies. And you wouldn't have to do that. And all she's done is lie. And, she just embellishes things to make herself look good and get views. Simple as that. Like this stalking and bullshit and jester bullshit. I mean, and she showed on the clip with them, we can make a lot of money out of this. We make bank, I think was what she said. Her and after the bars, Casper and Johnny and Johnny, that's all it's about, making money. And he's the same. It was always about views. And I said before, he used to walk around his house looking at his phone all the time, but how many views? That's all he was worried about, views. And that just goes to show.
Not helping people or saving people, or we know how that went. As soon as he thought he could really get some money off of doing the Diddy thing, he went to it. And that shows you right there, he does not care about anybody in that audience.
No.
If he did, he would not be, changing his direction of his channel like that. And yeah, I don't know.
No. And now he's moving away with his brother. So good luck to him.
Probably to Mexico because he's about to be a wanted man.
Well, that's right. And he finally leaves his mother alone. She doesn't deserve this her time of life. I mean, I've got nothing bad to say about his mother and his sister at all. I mean, I won't, because they didn't do anything to me. They were nice to me. So yeah.
So there's 65 things starred. We'll get to as many as we can. But Can I play? Reese isn't worth doing the whole stream about her. Can I play the clip that I wanted to show you in reaction to the Mexico story?
Yep.
Okay, let's do that next.
Way to be a pro. My understanding is they showed a text message that said I was going to Mexico to get some duck pills. What do you think that that autocorrect might have turned duck? See, I was calling them F pills. Yeah, I was buying Cialis because it works out to be about $4 a pill down there. I don't need to answer to any of you people. So do me a favor. You can go ahead and fuck off into the ether where I never have to see you again. Ignorant ones can leave as well. The people that you're listening to shot videos saying, I'm getting paid to do this. There are people paying us. I called this in December before any of these jackasses started doing this. I said, you watch, first of the year. We start going hard onto the human T and you watch what's going to happen.
Oh my. He's delusional.
You watch what's going to happen. So, Rolling Stone, I appreciate with all of the time and effort that you have spent in here that it took you literally no less than a matter of moments, to throw me and everyone else aside. And I love that about people like you. Those really easily led is kind of sad. I ask people here to think, right? You don't. You showed up and watched somebody hold up a phone that said, Tom, he's going to Mexico to get duck pills. If you saw the rest of the conversation, he said, I'm kind of nervous, man. I haven't used my junk in so long. It's incredible. I said, I've been in prison.
Back off.
I was getting ready to go and have intercourse with the woman that I loved for the first time. Not that the effing world has any reason to know this.
Okay, well, first of all, that wasn't even. Yeah, I don't know, Alan. You want to go ahead and tell him what he told you they were in Mexico when he was shoving them up his freaking storage locker?
Yeah, it wasn't jealous. I mean, it wasn't that at all. He told me they were a hypnol. It was roofies. And there was a bucket load of them. It wasn't just, there was a bucket load of them. I don't know how I don't want to know. But I know he went to the bathroom. I know they were that because he told me that. And, he's never once mentioned to me that he did mention to me that he had, be careful, he did, has given them to women apparently under their permission. But, it wasn't jealous. I mean, and there was no more conversation about that he's been in prison, blah, blah, blah. There wasn't. There wasn't at all. And the duck pill, I know what he meant. I was there. People can say that, it's my word against his. Yeah, I know. But people have to think, how many times have they caught him out lying? How many times has he stole money off people? How many people have come forward? And there are a lot more. So people can say what they want. I've got no proof, but I was there. No one else is there. I was there. And at the end, when I went to Nogales, I thought that we were going to want to have a look because I'd never been to Mexico. And of course, I jumped at the chance. But, I went there to, like I did with everywhere in the state station. I went to try some food because I wanted to try Mexican food and I didn't even get a chance to do that. Didn't virtually in there, got that, then had to get out because apparently they could melt in his butt and cause him to have a massive overdose, which made me even more nervous because he was driving and I was just a passenger, and it made me nervous going through, the border because, I thought, shit, if, they got dogs there, it was pretty slack actually. So, I was nervous all the way because I would have been probably held accountable as well. And that's what I was asked that question by somebody, by the National Home, homes, what are they called? Department of Home
Security.
And why didn't I say something? And I thought, well, I'm a foreigner in a different country. If I'd said something, I was staying at his place. I mean, that just, I'd said to him, what could I do? But I understand that I could have been held, I would have been in jail as well. So it wasn't jealous. I mean, why would you go there? You'd go to your doctor. Why would you take the risk of jail time to go there for Cialis? That's just ridiculous. And he knows what he got. And people, if they want to believe that, fine. I don't really care. But I know I'm telling the truth. And it wasn't the first time either, by the way. So when you're not having sex that often before then, Why would you need to go there all that time? So many times. Wouldn't, $80, $8 worth of those last you for 12 months, 18 months? Well, that wasn't the first time. It was quite regular, as in monthly or whatever that he used to go.
Now think about this. When Alan was with him, it's coming up on what, 2 years? Or
Yeah,
you
I
were,
think
well, so 1.5 years. It was September. You were there last
Yep.
time, right? Before, this was before me and Alan. And if you guys
2023.
remember him being with Reese and talking about how he's not had any women since he got out of prison bullshit. And of course, we know that's
that's a lie.
because we had at least one person come up and tell the truth about it. But he's talking about, I respect women, I do this and I do that. Then why are you going to tell your best friend who really would honestly, has integrity and would not agree with it, that you're buying these roofies and then I'm giving them to him consensually so that, we can get it on. They're asking for it too. Like, really? I mean, that's another lie too. He was being puritanical, and I'm a Christian. I changed my life, and I've not been with any. Reese is the first woman he's been with since he got out of prison. People that have watched regularly, they pick up on these things. And I'm a, attention to detail kind of person. Like, I'm going to remember something like that, especially when it comes back around and he goes and brags that he hasn't had any women. So, and you know what? I don't give a fuck about his personal life. I really don't. But when you come in and lie to people about it, the whole general population, just don't. If you can't say it, don't say anything at all. Like, if you can't tell the truth, then don't talk about it. Okay, but they can't help themselves. Both of them cannot help themselves, but to try to turn it around to get sympathy. And I wouldn't care if it wasn't actually hurting people, like what she did to Hockeytown John. And I mean, obviously, Jimena Keela, I'm leaving people out, but you know what I mean? She's hurting people. She is trying to ruin their lives. We are just trying to get her to tell the truth, and that's it. Just tell the truth, not your version of the truth, the actual truth.
If you knew the history of him and women that I do, that's not the case at all. That's not the case at all. There are many, and they won't come forward for some reason. Embarrassment, I don't know. There are many that he's talked to over the internet, let me say, that won't come forward. I don't understand it, but I respect their wishes to remain private. I don't understand it because it'll just confirm more what we're saying. But that's a lie about Reese is the first one. I mean, ask Vanessa. I mean, it's all known. I don't have to, everyone knows that. And, and I met her and I said I've met a lot, but he's just a liar. You've got to have a good memory.
Well, he had to portray that Christian moral kind of guy because he didn't, want people to find out that him and Reese had been screwing way before, they were having an affair way before that. And so he had to come across that way so that she could say he would never sleep with a married woman and blah, blah, blah. Look, I know that crap happens. I don't care.
And who cares?
I don't care that she's cheating on her husband.
Exactly. It's just the
I don't know him. It affects me in no way at all.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. But when you're putting this false narrative out and this and this false persona, and then people call you in it, how do they think that? Look, there are some people that can watch and don't give a fuck, okay? But other people do get emotionally connected, right? Mm-hmm. Because she wants that emotion. She's trying to share that emotion to other people. I mean, she's relatable, right? So she's obviously trying to make the other person feel the same way that she does. And then when you find out that it's all a lie, how do you expect people to react to that? Now, some of them are, like I said, they're never going to see it. I don't care. I don't care. But what I do care is about a lot of the vulnerable people that were really invested in them. This isn't like, people come onto YouTube, one set of people think, oh, it's sheer entertainment. I don't give a crap. The other people come on for connection, education, things of that matter. Okay, so these other people, go peddle your crap to people like that. But they're not thinking about these other people who really, truly loved her, were in fear for her, cheered for her, and all of these things. For her to just come out, find out everything, and then be like, haha, you're stupid, you believed it. Again, Barb spoke about that. Barb Sylvie spoke of that too.
Yeah.
She'd be like, haha, do you think they're going to believe it? She's laughing at you guys. He's laughing at you guys. Well, maybe he's not, because he's losing more subs than her at the moment, but they're laughing at you. Why do you want to be laughed at? Why do you want to constantly be let down by someone like that? And I've learned a lesson over lesson over lesson about getting close to people like this parasocially. Okay. There are very few that I actually feel a deep friendship connection with. Okay. And they know who they are because we message on Facebook and, talk in the chat and stuff like that. But as far as creators go, I mean, it's not a fun feeling. Okay. It's not, you know what? And this is weird. I know I'm going to, tell you something bad about me, because I knew for the longest time that she was lying to everybody. And I did not say anything for a long, long time. And I hate myself for that. You know what I mean? That is a hard lesson to learn. And I'm probably going to make it again, because apparently, I try to have a good judge of character. I tried to get, give people the benefit of the doubt, but when they don't, I'm done. And for some people, this is it. This is it for them. YouTube is not just like a sitcom on TV. Okay. It's not something that's supposed to be scripted, unless they come out and say it's scripted. And you know what I mean? This is just a satire, parody, or whatever. But that's not what they do, because they know how to get their con on.
Yep.
When she came to Arizona and they did the meet video with the at the airport when he picked her up, that was all, and people picked it up. It was all a setup. She'd been there the day before, the 2 days before, and it was just a setup for everyone, and people believed it. Honestly, a lot of people did. It was that obvious. And she'd already been there for a day or two, and I can't remember how long it was, but she was already there. So they went to the airport. He stood there with the bags or whatever, and he came up in the car, and here's Reese. It was just a lie. And people
believe them before they believe their own eyes. It's like, don't believe your lying eyes. And they want to know what the narrative is for today. When she was mad at Tommy, yeah, we're mad at Tommy. Why are you mad at Tommy? He's great. Oh yeah, he's great. He's great. Oh, I'm so glad you're rid of him. Oh, you're back together. That's great. That's awesome. It's like, people, can't you think for yourself?
When you look at Tommy, just remember, people, if you think he's a friend, or you think that he appreciates you, he messaged you or something, I was his best friend. So he said. And he laughed behind my back about how gullible and easy I was to get money out of. He did that behind my back, and I was supposedly his best friend. So you want to watch him, good luck to you. If you think what he's telling is the truth, just remember that. And I was told that.
Yeah.
And that hurt, because I was his best friend, and I did give him a lot of money, loaned him a lot of money, which is refuted, but he can. I don't really give a shit. I wiped that up for a long time ago. I'll never get it back, because he's got no morals. But he will laugh behind your back, and he'll use you as much as he can. I mean, he tried the car thing on me, and I was stupid at the time, because I've never come across that. And I just said, okay.
You don't think like that? Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't brought up. I think that way to con people. I just don't do it. And luckily, I didn't buy the car thing, because I just didn't cotton on, to be honest. I just said, oh, well, he's got car trouble, But after I heard on that thing, I thought, you idiot. But it is what it is. I've wiped that long time. Oh no, I'll never get anything back off him, because he just doesn't have any morals. And that's just I've got no time for him.
Well, and like I told him when he was ranting and raving, screaming at me in that voice message, I said, you know what? All you would have to do is tell people it's none of your business.
Yep.
It's none of your business. But when they're going on and they're telling it all, and then they want to get mad when someone questions it or gets offended, or, well, it's not your life, it's my life. Well, then stop telling us all the freaking, crap about your personal life. You could have people, look, how many YouTubers have amazing shows, and they don't have to talk about their personal life and get other people invested and caring about them, truly caring about them, that they just don't give a crap about. They don't care who they hurt or how they hurt them. And then they think that, oh, I found God. God was talking to her. No, that was your fucking enchiladas you ate an hour ago, bitch. That was not God. No.
No, and hiding behind it. I've no doubt his Christian belief and a God-fearing belief. That's great. I've got no problem with that. But how can you be a God-fearing person and con people? That's the only question I have to ask him. How can you be that? I know they're out there because it's just human. Well, for some people, it's human nature. But how can you be that way? And I've got no issues with religion at all. But it just sort of makes you wonder. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
Jojo wants to know, do you think he befriended you, Alan, to con you out of money? I mean, do you think he has that kind of forethought, or do you think he really did want to be your friend?
I don't know. I said no to start with because it was about 18 months before he asked me, but I didn't realise at that time that he was actually long conning the other lady at the time. And when that was put to a stop, I believe that's when it started with me. So he, because I used to tell him what I had. Silly me. I mean, because I was moving ahead in life and all that sort of thing. So I'd say, yeah, I've got this much or whatever, and then that was my fault. But he was my best friend. I don't share that with everyone. It's not like I go around telling everyone. Stacey, obviously, but other than that,
for a long time though.
Yeah, she's my best friend, and my fiance. So, but he, I think in the end, I was after about 18 months. But yeah, we used to talk a lot. I mean, we talked on the phone 3-4 times a week. Sometimes, more than that. But that's why I was so hurt, and I really was. I love the guy.
Yeah.
I thought he had a mission that was a good mission, and I believe it started off with that, but it turned to so much more when the lies started to come out about the MAT, or the medically assisted treatment, and the money that was used for that. There was never any receipts about it. His friend in prison, which I believe, and I think Casper came out and said it's a lie.
That's Q, right?
Yeah.
That was Q.
And things like that. And it just got to a point, that you can't believe anything that comes out of his mouth. And shame, because it's a good idea. The lifeboat's a great idea. If it's run by a person with morals and scruples.
And it's a great front to run a con, period.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is a perfect way to,
Absolutely. And I feel bad for all the people. There's a lot of nice people, and a lot of people needed help. And a lot of people found solace, and they, a lot of people, I've seen comments of people saying that, the lifeboat saved their life, and that's what it was there for. But it also affected a lot of people too. It saved a lot of people, but, it ruined a lot of people's lives. It really did. He hurt a lot of people, and he just won't stand up and admit that.
It was neither of them, even with her little fake apology tour, neither of them really, truly apologized to anybody. They are sorry they got caught. They are sorry they got called out. That's what they're sorry about. All he's been doing is whining. Oh, they're just so mean to me. Oh, it's not right. All this. Come on. Just stop.
Yeah.
Go fucking mow some
And he's the one that's being
Arizona
defended.
lawns.
Yeah. And now he's the one to be defended, except besides not his marks, not the women that they both.
Everybody's lying. All these people from across the world which is crazy. We've all done this. We're getting paid by the jesters, just like that little old man in the freaking overalls, right? Everybody's a jester. They're out to get me. He needs, you know what? She needs one of those helmets and sunglasses like knife orders got, and maybe them jesters wouldn't recognize her.
Yeah, well, she shouldn't be going to places of business and causing trouble and then being like, who, me? And then spinning it, and yeah, whatever. I thought this was really, sorry, my nose itches today. I'm not doing anything. I'm not skiing. Milky the Dandelion, this is interesting. There's more channels exposing them both than there are defending him. That speaks volumes. I don't think I've seen any channel defend them but themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I haven't.
Absolutely.
I'll be honest. I have not had one creator come to me and be like, "Can you lay off Bree? She's not a bad person. She no, not one, not one."
I
So
don't
what does
give
that
him.
tell you?
Yeah,
You know.
I don't give him any time of day. I don't watch. I do look at the views and his subscriber count because it gives me great pleasure, as I said, to see it drop. But I don't give him any thought really. I'm over it. I really am. It's just
Yeah,
I'll do
I-
this. If it reaches one more person and saves them, that's great. If it opens one more set of eyes, that's great. To stop what he's doing to people, and it's just ridiculous.
well, and I don't do either, but I have plenty of people out there that want to send me clips and tell me, and I don't mind. I'll look into it and tell them what I think about it and everything, but it comes down to I wish I never would have ever freaking met them, except for the fact that I met Alan
Yeah.
through,
See.
through there.
Same thing
That's
with
it.
my cult.
You know, and I met
The cult
other
I was in.
friends through there, but I mean, them personally, I wish I would have been those people on the outside that knew the bullshit and jetted right away. The smarter ones. I've never claimed to be the, most intelligent freaking person, but
He sent me messages when I showed Stacey this one, and but that she's not a good Stacey's not a good person, and you're too in love with her now to see the writing on the wall and all that. But you'll wake up to yourself. I said, well, it's 13 months later, and we're still together. I'm moving to the States. We're going to get married, and things have just got to be put into place. So, I mean, I'm still with Stacey. I don't think you're still with Reese. So,
Yeah.
fuck it. Sorry.
Hef, I want to read this to you because I think it's great and it's true.
Okay.
Ben Bacon Bit said, Hef, I've known big name experts in the field of human behavior that have been fooled by people. Nothing is ever 100%. You can get better at it, and you are from what you are. You are from what you have learned. So yeah, you are learning. We're all learning, and our mistakes make us stronger. We learn from them, and there's good things along the way. Like I always say that too. And people are like, "Oh, do you wish you never joined Door of Hope?" Well, then if I erase all the bad things that I've done or all the decisions I made,
Right.
then I erase a lot of the good too. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't have my husband and my kids. And
Absolutely.
be who I am. Yeah.
We've I know I would have met Stacey. I mean, people, we've been together 13 months or something. We've not had one argument, not one, not even close. And we talk on the weekends, probably 13 hours during the.
We're gonna make people throw up. Yeah,
Each
from the minute he gets home from work till we go to bed. At night.
5 or 6 hours
Yeah.
a day, and 10 to 13 hours every day on the weekend, and we haven't had one argument.
Like a month together, month together in total, a month, and yeah, I mean here, face to face. Oh my God, Sadie, you just freaked me out. Not like some coming out from underneath the bed to brush your ankle. Whew, sorry, my dog. Hey, I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, back on topic. Yeah. Yeah, Ben, I thank you for that. I tell other people the same thing, and I think obviously we're the hardest on ourselves, but it's not about me anymore. It's not about it's not like I'm going out or you're going out, even Marilyn, and campaigning against somebody. We're just telling you the truth. We told you our side of it. And she can't handle that.
And I don't have any hate. I mean, I feel nothing. I feel no hate. I feel no love toward. I feel nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Hate is an
feel
emotion.
love towards the people and compassion towards the people she's hurt and still hurting. But whatever.
Yeah, and
I wasn't gonna say I barely said anything about her since I said okay, I'm done talking about her. But because she keeps doing stupid shit, she's putting herself back in people's radar. And now she's got me, whatever somebody said on her thumbnail, go for it. Like she's always like, I'm never going to talk about the haters. She sent me texts like apologizing to me, saying nice things to me. It lasts like 30 seconds and then she's back. She's back being who she is. She doesn't learn and she sees everybody transactionally. Like I want to read this. Keela McDonald, Keela did so much for her and now she's just treating her like shit. She's just constantly talking about her, not saying her name. You know what? I actually give Reese some credit. At least she had the balls to say my name today. Good. Whatever. I don't see her saying anything about the other channels that's talking about her. I'm not even talking about her lately, but she mentions my name. Well, whatever.
She has
It's
to
on.
protect the brand, even though this was about, Dick Weasel. She has to protect the brand now because her and Tommy are going to be reunited and change people. And we're going to go back on that tour, you guys. We just need, $5,000 to do it. So give us that money and we'll go on
She's
tour
going
and
to
meet you
still
guys.
keep doubling and tripling down and losing subs. And that's whatever. Makila said there's audio of her admitting that her chat is her money. Bet my life on it. I heard it and I totally believe you. And there's this whole, kind of stupid joke going around. I didn't really want to talk much about it because I haven't seen anything, to prove it. But I guess she did because she was talking about it on 2 different streams about this NDA situation. It was mostly joking. It sounded like she was joking and then it sounded like she was serious. But there was one part that I was like, this is serious. This is Reese. This is serious. And so since she wants to make it about her, I think I found it while you guys were talking. If you don't mind, I want to play this too. It was called The Fine Print the other day. So it's on, Reese. I'm just going to play your words and people can decide for themselves. Okay. Play this part. This is from a couple nights ago.
I'm a huge fan of researching folks, whether I meet them online or in person. I want to know if what they'll tell me matches up to the background. Absolutely. I have so many friends now that do background checks for me on pretty much anybody I ask. Like I have people's records pulled up left and right on stuff, and I'm not talking about dates here. Okay. But I have to do that at this point. If I'm, I have to protect myself. And I'm not new to this game anymore. And protecting myself with background checks and NDAs are the only way to do it, as far as I'm concerned at this point in life. You should, as a content creator, if you're going to share things behind the scenes with people, background checks and NDAs. And everybody seems to understand that I've come into contact with that knows, look, if I'm going to share this with you, we're going to have to sign an NDA, right? Because it's just how that works. I'm not going to have people in my life anymore. This is my job. So I'm not going to have people in my life anymore going, oh, you're not my friend anymore? Oh, I got the receipts. Reese rejected me.
Okay. Can I just stop there she's talking about her friends.
Yeah.
Do you have all your friends sign an NDA? I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand what she's saying. And she's serious. And when she's talking about that's serious.
Yeah.
So speechless.
I don't get it.
It just shows obvious that I'm sorry, I'm getting freaking messages on my phone.
Well, don't talk bullshit. You wouldn't have to worry about it. I mean, don't belittle people and tell lies about people, and you wouldn't have to worry about that. I mean, again, the whole chatties or the restaurant, the cafe thing was, she embellished. She's just a liar. Simple as that. And they proved that wrong, and they got thousands.
She's afraid of receipts. She's afraid of what she says behind the scenes that does not match up with what she says in public whatsoever. So that's why she doesn't want. She's trying to protect her brand, which is deceptive.
Right. And what was I telling you about that Netflix show about Alan
Gibson?
Belle Gibson was an Australian Instagram star.
Yes.
And she faked cancer and all that other kinds of things. And I watched it last night, and there were so many things that were like parallel about and how the experts explained it. And I was like, oh my gosh! If anybody that doesn't know, Google Belle Gibson. I forget what the title of the show is named, but it's on Netflix.
Was it the apple cider vinegar one? Because that was her. I think there's a couple of them out there about her.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure. No, it wasn't called apple cider vinegar.
Okay,
it
there was another one then. Yeah.
It was a different one on there. The lies of a true con artist or something like that, or an Instagram con artist. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, Instagram.
I'm not giving Reese any bit of credit because this woman had millions and millions of followers. But I said she was like Reese on steroids because but the whole line of the con and deceptiveness and everything, I was just like, I already knew it. It's like, I already knew it. But when you see it out there and somebody else is saying it, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's a really good documentary.
Yeah.
I just want to pull this up. Costas June says, if people just pay attention to her words, she tells on herself and gives herself up.
Yeah, exactly.
All the
100%.
all the time, she will tell you one thing, and that's what was getting to me, back then, and that's what what I had said in that chat that got this whole thing, whatever started. It wasn't anything mean. It wasn't anything accusatory, and she took that, from her little, which now I was 100% sure who it was, and I really don't care, but took that back and was like, oh my God, she's talking about you and not praising you and kissing your butt. So it must be a horrible person, evil and reprehensible human being, as Brett liked to call me.
Yeah,
but I'm like,
called you that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm like, if it was something that innocent, or like with her former mods, Keela, Jimena, all of them, all they did was post a question to her or point out, hey, this happened or that happened, and question her any tiny bit, and boom, you are horrible, trash, whatever the hell else she called everybody. But and I don't hurt for me. I don't give a fuck. I think everybody knows me that knows I don't give a fuck what she says about me. It's everybody else. It's all of the other people that I'm feeling for. I'm not saying that to be benevolent. It's just a fact. I mean, ask Alan, ask anybody. I am not that kind of an emotional person enough to have hurt feelings or something. The one thing I do hate is liars. I hate liars. Okay. I know what that does to people. I see it every day.
Yeah.
That's it. So stop lying. Shut your mouth and move the fuck on.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it any better. That's for sure. I'm going to put this up. Tian Louise. Narcissists use people. They view them as appliances to be used until they have no more to use to them.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
no more use for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you know what? I can hold my head up high. She's talking shit about me today. I don't give a shit because you know what? I have nothing to hide. I didn't do anything wrong. So it's whatever. It's like, oh, you're a hater. You're a hater. Is that all you got? Is that all you got? And I will be happy to take the fall for the sake of other people knowing the truth and being saved from it.
That's it. That's it. Just, we want people to protect themselves.
Yep.
Just emotionally, financially, whatever.
I'm sorry. I just this caught my eye. Stay Spirit. I'm pretty sure the jesters are too busy boinking ladies to be thinking about her.
Right.
No comment.
Absolutely, no comment.
No comment. Abraham, that's freaking crazy. Yeah, delusional. Yeah, I can't disagree with that at all. It's wild. So yeah, I had some other questions, but I'm just there's a ton of comments. If I can pull some of them up, I don't want to keep you guys forever, but we're already over an hour. But I want to just get input. Heat my shorts. Hey, Heat. Ellen Hef's interviews brought a lot of us together.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm definitely happy about that.
Yeah.
You can be proud of that. Yeah. I am the noise opera. Life has been wonderful without the criminal boat. I believe it. Yeah. Angie says, Hef, you look beautiful today. I agree.
Thank you.
Gorgeous. Right, Jojo. They definitely helped by coming forward, gave people the courage to tell their story. Yeah.
Right. And we got courage. I got courage from Barb Sylvie.
Yes. Yeah.
I got courage from, Knife Hoarder, even though, I didn't have any kind of exchanges with him much then. But, I felt, very strongly that if they're willing to put themselves out there and do what they did, then I might as well, because I just honestly didn't care. I didn't care enough about her to be so you know, as far as friend wise or something. She what people saying I was her best friend. People were saying I was her mod.
You
I
never
was
modded for her. No.
never modded for her. We had some messenger exchanges, and it wasn't a whole lot, but what was there was telling. You know, I would crack a lot of jokes. I mean, of course, obviously the googly eyes. You know, and that you know, that was it. A few jokes, a few whatever. She would ask me about a stream one time, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's great," because I was a dumbass. And that was it. We weren't best friends, and I didn't come on here and say I knew her intimately. No, I didn't. I didn't. But what I can tell you is I watched that show religiously, and I saw one thing she would say here, and the very next night, and this was a year ago, so over a year ago. It'll be or about a year ago. Anyway, whatever it was within the last year. When it was last September, right? Or was it the September before? It was the September before.
It's been over a year. We've been together for a year, so it's before that.
It was over a year. Anyway, I'm sorry. I did take a gummy. Anyway, but yeah, I was seeing all these things coming up, and I'm like, I'm not sitting there like, oh my God, she hurt my feelings. I'm sitting there like, she is fucking with people and laughing about it in the background, you know, and like telling people no, the whole gaslighting crap. I mean, sorry, I'm getting overexcited. I need to chill out.
That's okay. I'll read some more. Anna has only one passport. Says it was a breakthrough moment when Alan spoke out. I agree. Yeah, I agree.
You know, it's
One of the many, but it definitely was significant. You know,
there's many. Again, it goes back to the FTG guys. I mean, they stuck at it. They could have given up, and they didn't. And so I think they were the catalyst, and you know they've been great. I mean, I've spoken to Knife Order a couple of times, not very much, but yeah, he could have. You know, I was part of the lifeboat, but you know, as I said, I never rubbished him when I was in the lifeboat, but I always wondered because I thought he was a good guy, and I used to watch him before the lifeboat do his story times and all that, and I really enjoyed it because it was another take on sobriety, and that time I was there for a reason.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, so I've got a lot of time for him and Good, and the other guys too, but I mainly watch those two.
Yeah.
I read this. Kristen M. And she's another one that's come forward and said that, you know, she was fooled by Reese. A lot of us were. And now she sees the truth. And I really appreciate her because she helped me to feel like I was doing the right thing and I wasn't alone in thinking what I did. So thank you, Chris. I appreciate you. I hope all of those people who are against this video, I hope you know what the truth is. Brett Miller, Tommy Scoville, and Relatable Reese are using you, could care less about you. Marilyn, Heif, and Alan, you are amazing truth tellers. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, that's exactly. They're using these people. They're and especially Tutti Frutti over there is using very vulnerable people who are trying to. Alan, don't make me laugh. I'm trying to go smoothly into what I was going to say, and I just looked at you. Yes, Tutti Frutti, okay? Anyway, what I was saying is he's using vulnerable people trying to come out of addiction, or they're, you know, obviously their families, a lot of them don't have addiction themselves, but they're dealing with families. And how could you take advantage of people like that? How could you introduce, you know, Reese and unleash her on those people? I mean, how could you really do that if you cared about people? You don't care about people. You lie and you boo-hoo and you're, oh, they're lying against me. No, you've been caught. You know, you've been caught. And I think that's the worst. Like Reese, fine, you know, people, whatever, it's bad and I don't like it. But then you go over to freaking Brett's channel and you're like, what the actual fuck? These are good people. These are people that are reaching out to you for help. These are other people that are helping you supposedly help others. And yet you just chew them up, spit them out, label them crazy, and try to turn everybody against them. I mean, and that's what he's done.
How many of the original lifeboat crew are still on the lifeboat? Ask yourself that question. How many of the original crew? I mean, the original. Me, LKF or Chris, Charlie, I don't know. Fiona, I suppose, was one of them. I can't remember. So I'm missing a lot of them. And I'm missing a lot of them. But none of them, as far as I know, are still on the lot. None of them. And are we all wrong? Have we all left because we're wrong? No, we're all left because we woke up. And it hurt a lot of people. It hurt me. And I know it hurt Chris a bit and the others. And some of them were just booted the night we did the live. There were mods there that were booted because they watched the live. Simple as that. And there's proof of that. There's receipts out there for that. They were booted. And one of the mods, and I won't say who it was going and telling his son who was in the chat, and they were just booted. Just because they were watching, it's freedom. They were booted.
Yeah, I heard they were doing like and trying to find people that were watching.
Yeah,
it would pop up if they were there. Yeah.
I saw a receipt of that. I saw a receipt of one of the X mods of that. They showed me the screenshot of it, and there were two of their current mods telling Spanx who was in the chat, and that was it. And they were just getting rid of them like that. I mean, seriously.
So if we haven't seen Spanx in a while.
No, I said that's right. Yeah, haven't seen him for a while, so I don't know what's going on there. Read between the lines. It doesn't even mention. I don't watch him, so I don't know. But I haven't seen any shows where he's still there, so I don't know. And he moved there to take over and look.
Oh, just like Tutti Frutti said that he was going to give you a job.
Got me laughing.
He was going to give you a job. He was going to give his ex-Australian fiance a job. He was going to give I've heard that from a couple other people. They were all going to get jobs being his assistant because he was going to be a big star, y'all. But this is what he did. Matter of fact, I can count 1, 2, 3, 5 people right now at the top of my head that he promised a job to. And some of them were from out of the country, definitely out of the state. Can you imagine if people actually took him up on that and they get there and there's nothing there? They just, he's just, going to use you. I mean, there's a few people, obviously, that he did use when it came to the watch business part. Okay. And they never got paid. They never got compensated, paid back, none of that. Right. People have already spoken up about that.
Yep.
So did he stop helping Spanx out? I don't know. Speculation. I get it. But
yeah, I know
on the Spanx thing.
Definitely know one lady that he promised to pay to help with the lifeboat, and in the end I was told to get rid of her because she's crazy, and that wasn't who you think it is. It was another lady that was quite a big part of the lifeboat, and he promised her money, and she called me when I was there, and so that was in September of 20. Well, I don't know. I'm too old. Dementia. She promised
23.
her.
I think it was September of 23.
Yeah.
Then Danny Masterson versus Danny Masterson trial. Mm-hmm.
So then the next thing I was told, get rid of her. Why? Well, she's crazy. And then I spoke to her on the phone, and she said that he had promised to pay her for all the work she's doing. So, and I thought she was crazy, honestly, because I believed him. But then when I heard it from other people as well, but she's the only one I've spoken to on the phone about it. And I just said, well, I don't know. And I told him, she said, you promised her to pay. No, why would I do that? I'm like, no problem. Get rid of it.
Was that the same woman that, I thought just lost my head. I was thinking about it and I just fucking forgot it. Sorry. Oh, the same woman that later he said, add her back because she's got a lot of money and she's going to spend it.
I know who that is. Yep.
No, it wasn't.
That was a different person other than that.
I remember who it is.
That person.
Yeah.
Because it knows her, but it was quite cool. And any ex-lifeboaters will know her. And she just disappeared. And I felt really bad about that because obviously she was telling me the truth. And I felt really bad about that. And as I did with a lot of people that were kicked because of he told me to, but I was just doing what I was, and I didn't know any better. So yeah, I felt bad about that, and I still do. But there's a lot of ex-lifeboaters who are coming out now, and as I said, none of the OGs are there anymore. So that just goes to show you.
I want to put this up. KAG. I never had any direct interaction with Hef, but when Alan was a wrench, he never failed to greet me on the boat. Thank you for that. You are both obviously caring individuals who are preventing harm. And
I
then
think you're
I
right.
agree with
Yeah.
We had
And-
even when Stacey was there to start, it was a great. The boat was a great thing, you know. It was really was. We had, you know, we became family, and it was a shame, really. But as I said before, and I'll never not say it was a great idea, and it is a great idea, run by the right person who hasn't taken advantage of the people that subscribe to him, both
Mhm.
emotionally, mentally, monetarily.
Yeah.
He just, it was, the boat was a great idea. It still is, but not under his watch. No.
Or really any of, I mean, yeah, but it's obviously been that, you know, why couldn't Johnny jump in when he was so sick, or why couldn't, you know what I mean, different people of his family jump in and take over for it? I'm surprised they haven't. I mean, look, he tried it with Spanx. Obviously it didn't work out, but he's got to keep it in that family narrative to be able to push it, because if he handed it over to anybody else, oh my God, no, you're not supposed to say that. You can't do that. Why it would never work. So the concept idea is great, but listen, go search in YouTube recovery channels, and don't
I was
just
going to say,
watch one.
it's not
Don't
the
just
only
put
one.
all
It's
your
not the only one.
heart and your effort and your money into one, you know, and watch them for a while. Watch them, make sure what they say adds up, you know, the next day or next week, or make sure that it's something that's not over dramatic and not off the, and then, yes, if you feel free to, if you would feel good donating to them, do it, but make sure it's completely legit. Anybody that runs a recovery program like he was supposedly doing, okay, will have no problem showing you the receipts. You could redact the names. Apparently he was telling people not to talk about it, because supposedly he was telling people not to talk about it because he would get flooded with whatever. I'm going off of like Goot and Knife Orders videos, which are amazing because they actually show him saying it. But no, that's just another manipulation tactic. If you don't have anything to hide,
Right.
and you show what you do for your taxes, you know, even though he probably doesn't fill his taxes out, you know, legally the way they're supposed to be, allegedly. Oh, I don't want to get sued. You know what I mean?
He's never shown any lists or any names that he's helped with MAT. Never. Now, as Stacey said, there's a privacy thing. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
The names, redact the names, and show where. Never, ever. Never showed any proof about that. Never showed any proof about Q. Never put his case up on screen for people to look at and redacted his name. Never. So, listen, I've got no other way to say it. He's full of shit.
Well, and it's and it's really truly hurting people. And I'm not just saying hurting their feelings. It's you know, life altering for some people.
Yeah.
Especially the people in recovery.
The lifeboat thing's gone. It's a crime or a Diddy channel or a, you know, and you change that because he gets more views out of it. You know, it's not like he's doing one crime a week, which I can understand. But doing like 5 crime shows and 1 or 2 help channel, it just doesn't make any sense. And people should be, what, you know, and most of his followers now are for crime, for the Diddy case. I mean, I can't be asked watching that sort of shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, Full of Hope. I just wanted to pull this up. Nice to see you, Full of Hope. The lifeboat at 1,000 subs was very different boat. So that's,
absolutely.
I think it's a good point, because when it was smaller, it was more focused on helping people with addictions, right?
Yeah.
And then it
And
got
then
out of control.
Then he figured out what the Danny Masterson case, that he can make more money doing these sensationalisms and, oh, I was the first one to go live. I mean, such a.
Did you? He put out a video
celebrating that,
saying he's not going to the Diddy trial because he reckons he'll be confronted by people or something like that. I don't know. Probably because no one's going to pay for his trip this time.
exactly.
Right.
Like you paid for it to the master.
Yeah, we'll go to the master. Yeah.
Yep. So I got some comments about Reese. I guess we'll just go back and forth. Keela, I have receipts and haven't started going after her, as she says. She will know when I do. And hey, girl, if there's anything I can do, I'm here.
Same.
I'm here because
Same.
gloves are off. Gloves are off. You know, fuck it.
all
Exactly.
the women, except for ones that we know of that haven't come forward, just do it. I mean, he can't hurt you. He can't hurt you. It's illegal for him to show anything or to do it. He's a con man. He's a convicted felon on numerous counts. He's not going to hurt you. He can't. He'll go straight back to jail. He's being watched. He knows it.
His prison locker is finally getting probably to a little minuscule size there. And if he does try to do something to you guys, he knows when he goes back to prison, it's going to be a maximum size storage locker. So, girls, ladies, just fuck him. All right. Come out and tell your truths. I already, go talk to the investigator. There's one through the FBI and through Homeland Security. It's going to be proven one day, but it can't be unless people really have it. The stuff that we heard secondhand, nothing can be done about it unless they come forward. I know you're terrified. I know you're scared. I know it's not going to be easy, but he has to be stopped from doing any of this. Okay. He was obviously a sexual deviant from the very freaking beginning.
Yeah.
It's not stopped. So the videos or pictures you believe he has of you, the information he has on you, there's nothing he can do.
Right.
And I know a lot of there's a few people that are just like scared because of their family and stuff, and I understand that. But he's not going. He doesn't know. Come on, everybody thinking he knows these big bad mob bosses and all this crap. If it was a big bad mob boss that he knows, I know because environments I've lived in, that if they knew, and they probably did, that he had a SA charge against him, they wouldn't want nothing to do with him, and they probably would have done other bad things. So people, you have to put two and two together and really, really start thinking this critical kind of thinking, whatever. But you gotta really think about it. Put two and two together. See what you know about the people they're talking about, versus them and their track record.
Exactly.
As we said, as Casper said, the stabbing he got in prison was definitely not a mistaken identity. People know that if you stab somebody in prison and you stab the wrong person, virtually you're going to get hit. He wasn't stabbed unintentionally. They knew who he was stabbing. And of course,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
But he did, as far as I knew about the health thing, he did have strokes. He did have cancer. I don't know what sort. He was in a wheelchair for a time after he had a stroke, I believe. I don't know any more than that.
But he was supposed to barely be hanging on to life, and he would never have his body. He would never walk again. He'd never run again. But let's see, he's been hiking trails. He's out there, with Alan during his visit to. We mentioned all that, but I'm like, that's what you got to start thinking about. No, it's not a miracle, and he was healed. And I mean, do I think he's unhealthy?
It's not. Well, that was the name of my stream yesterday. It's a miracle.
Right. So I'm like,
what was that called in Tucson? There was this really rocky trail.
Finger Mountain or
Finger Rock.
Finger Rock. Yeah.
We went for a hike that day, and it was warm, and we ended up taking right about halfway to it. Took the wrong trail, and ended up climbing up boulders. I mean, we were climbing up boulders. They weren't just I'll put in your 3 foot, 4 foot, they were 10 foot, 12 foot boulders. We were climbing up, and we took the wrong turn, and we got to probably within 300 or 400 yards of Finger Rock. So it was a hell of a hike. But then the rain came in, and then obviously you're in a gully, and what happens when the rain comes in there, apparently, so I found out, is it just floods. So it started to run. So we're held down. I slipped and hit my head on the way down, and but he had no problem. It was tough, and we were both in our 50s. So it was a tough hike. So I didn't see anything physically wrong with him then.
Yeah.
It was a tough hike.
Yeah, I read that. It's very treacherous, very loose rocks, some boulders, brush, and very slippery. Very slippery.
Yeah. So then I had fun.
7 or 8 years prior, he was supposedly going to be incapacitated.
And dementia. Early onset.
Probably die within 5 days. Yeah, 5 years. Mm-hmm.
He won't be able to do anything. No.
He is. Look, if anybody sees him now, the ashy gray saggy skeleton look. And I'm not trying to say that to be mean. I'm saying that to say, no, he does not look well. So I don't know what he's doing, what he's not doing. If it's because he's, tutti frutti too much, then that could possibly be it too. I don't know what's going on with him. All I know is he looks unhealthy AF. So, he may be getting things may be catching up to him, but he cannot use that excuse anymore with the next 7 years that he did this and he did that. And we see this because he tells us all the walks in the middle of the night, that he's so high that he forgets that we can tell. And he has no problem with that. I don't know. I'm not going to question that he's not crazy because he is. You know what I mean? I think he's severely mentally has issues. I don't feel sorry for him because I think he brought it on himself. But
Awaken said he used the lifeboat to get out of his probation.
Yeah,
So it's probably like, I'm doing something good for society.
And that's where all that came back with the medical crap too. That's why I was saying that. And then for the next 7 or so years, he's been fine up until the last couple months.
He used that, and he used me and one other person I know of, and I'm not going to say the name because that to pay for getting his papers clean or whatever you call it.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that other person that paid for it, and that was the first one that I ever gave him was like in Australian dollars was about $320. It was about $1,700 US, and that was to get his papers cleared. Because his lawyer rang him up and said, "I need this," and so I gave him the money, loaned him the money, which he said he was going to pay back, but obviously didn't. Yep. But and I wasn't the only person he gave that excuse or that reason to as well. There's another one as well. But yeah, he's just so we paid for it, and he used the lifeboat, and I think the lifeboat was a huge part in him getting his getting his papers.
Yeah,
and if they only knew, it might have changed.
Pat says, if nothing else, this is a good lesson for us all, not to blindly and fanatically follow somebody we don't actually know.
Right.
Well, I went and saw him. And I spoke to him quite a lot. I thought I did know him, but it's obvious I didn't. And I spoke to him a lot, and I had a lot to do with him. So probably more than anyone. It wasn't probably at the time. It was more than anyone. So I knew him, I thought, better than anybody. But I didn't, And I should have listened. There was one person especially who was telling me, and I should listen to her, but I didn't. So
did either of you get a personal apology? Maria wants to know.
No way. She wants to say, I'm blocked. I can't do it. I blocked her on Facebook. My email, everything's on my channel. There's my email, whatever. I've emailed with her, on Gmail back and forth a couple times. She has my email address. My phone number is, I probably shouldn't say that, but on my Facebook page, I keep my Facebook page private, but people, there's so many ways. If that's the other thing. She wanted to say that I blocked her. I didn't block her until after a few days of nothing, because I told Tommy, I said, have her give me a call. I will talk to her about this. Tell her to call me. And she never did, and that's fine, whatever. But don't go out and tell people that, they blocked me. I can't personally apologize to them. That's just another manipulation tactic. A little bit of truth mixed in with a lot of lie, Yeah, she can't contact me on Messenger, but she knows what my email address is.
Yeah, full of hope. I wasn't going to say, I know that. I wasn't going to say your name because I'm careful about that, and I don't want to, cause you grief that you've already had. And then it's out of respect that I didn't say your name. But when you put in the chat, I know it was you, and you caught me as well. But I'm not happy about that. But anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I didn't know, and I didn't get an apology. The last message I got from him before I blocked him was he called me a dog because he had brought me into his house, which is a lie, and met his family. So that was the last. And I did reply, and Sergi, are you fucking kidding me? You conned me, blah, blah, blah. Not a reply. I blocked him after that, so I don't know. I haven't unblocked. I think I unblocked him when I had to get messages, but other than that, I haven't. I don't know. He's got my email as well. But no apologies. It wouldn't mean anything anyway.
I agree. We're past that now.
Yeah.
It's actions. It's the actions that show, not the words. And we'll never see that because,
Too
you
late.
know, well, it's too late, and they would never do it because they still, you know, need to make that money. You know, want to make that money. They don't need anything, but
Right.
want to make that money.
He doesn't think he's done anything wrong. That's why, and neither does she. That's why they won't apologise. I mean, the day before she went on the live and spoke badly about Stacey, as I said before, I spoke to him and her on the phone, and she asked me, "Is that it?" And I said, "Yes, there'll be no more."
Yeah.
And that's it. Okay. And the next day she comes out with the video, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Well, you just completely blast me. You know, did you say my name at first? No, but that's another thing that gets me with people that come out and say, "I didn't say your name." Who the fuck do you think is going to be missing from your chat? I was prevalent in Reese's chat all the time. It's going to be freaking obvious that it was me, right? So just come out and say my name.
Everybody knew. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, that's the other thing that she wanted to hide behind. But how do you know it? But the thing of it is, she was mashing my story with Barb Sylvie's story, with somebody else's story that things have done, said, or whatever. So everybody thought that I was a mod for her. No, Barb was a mod for her. It wasn't me. Or that Barb's the one that simply stated a benign question in a private chat. No, that was me. And she was doing that on purpose to get people riled up after, you know, us, I guess, or I don't know, or mad at us or something like that. And she knew what she was doing. That's classic manipulation so that she could come back and say, well, I wasn't talking about you. I mean, look how she did that with so many other people that confronted her to try to keep them, you know, guessing, keep them wondering, keep them thinking, oh no, you know, whatever, Reese.
Hey, Susie. Yeah, Susie said the same thing. She said I blocked her. She's not blocked.
Yeah, no, she's not. But she's going to tell everybody that because she's going to think that people are just going to either A, not care, or B, forget tomorrow, you know, the next day when she says something completely different. It's a manipulation tactic, flat out.
Well, I didn't have a block because obviously she messaged me on Facebook, and I thought I did, by the way, but I didn't. But she is now. But then I copped a lot. But after the video, I copped a lot of flack of people saying I put her in danger. You know, fuck off. Seriously?
Yeah, you got a lot of hate mail.
Well, like I said, there's 8 billion more people on the planet she could have asked, you know? Why you? And why did she ask anybody else?
Listen, she was going to get with Alan, talk to Alan, try to find out what he knows, find out what's going to be said, try to manipulate him into not doing so. I mean, listen, it's obvious, people. It is so obvious.
Yeah, there's something about Alan and you have that they do not want you to have a voice, because last time there was a lot of resistance, and right now this is live putting me on her freaking title and thumbnail because she did not want. She's trying to distract, but hey, there's still, you know, 375 people in here, so yeah, fuck off. You know, there's obviously people that want to hear it.
Yeah, listen, they can bring the hate. I don't care. Then, as I said, just tell me or prove what I'm saying is wrong. That's all I ask. If people don't,
they want to keep it up. You know, they ain't seen nothing yet. There's people coming forward every day. There's more receipts that I've been getting. People just send them to me. You know, I have been married to, for 10 years. He's been a real estate agent. We're going on a little trip, and we're gonna do some sleuthing in Vermont. You know, we'll probably uncover even more receipts. So yeah, they can bring it at us. But the thing is, they don't have anything on me. You know, they don't even like screen share anything or talk about anything that's real. They'll just spin and, you know, and lie and deceive and cheat. Whatever. They want to get their spite chats. I don't give a shit. I'm not here for spite chats. I'm not here for that.
And I think at this point in time, when she's obviously made it obvious that other, you know, people are speaking out and doing videos and stuff, if they can't bring themselves to watch those videos so that they can figure it out themselves and actually make a conscious choice instead of just hearing everything one-sided, but they're terrified. They're terrified that they're going to lose what they feel is a connection to Reese. And it's a fake thing. It is a fake connection. There's,
Yeah.
the person may feel it. It's not real for her.
No. Exactly. Just let's this is just case in point right here. Auntie Dawn comment. It's sad and sickening that she wants to do a background check on new friends, but she doesn't do a background check on new lovers she brings around her child.
Yep.
That's
What are the criteria? I mean, I guess as long as someone didn't unalive somebody else, that they could be her friend and boyfriend and
no. But the thing is, she can say, I'm so horrible, you're so horrible, Alan's so horrible, Casper's so horrible, Susie's so horrible, everybody's so horrible, except who? Tommy. Except Brett.
Yep.
He's a stand-up guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah. He would never.
What kind of opposite world are we living in here? It's insane.
Yeah.
It's just insane. Well, we have so many things. let me try to go through. Is there anything else, any subjects you guys wanted to talk about while I'm looking through the comments? There's one thing I want to put up, Dancing in the Rain. I love her. You probably know who she is, but she's great. The problem is when people lie is that you have to assume everything they say is a lie. Exactly. You can't believe anything that either of them say because they lie so much.
And she is always the damsel in distress. Oh, Jeff. Oh, the jesters. Oh, Tommy. Oh, the city folk. Oh, it's always like, think about it. If that was actually happening, which it is not, if it was actually happening, there's a common denominator in all of this, and obviously it's her. She goes everywhere and nobody freaking likes her. It's not some hate thing. It's not somebody. It's her personality. It's her lying. People catch on to this crap and they see it, and she has to move on to somebody else.
I mean, how many times have you gone to Home Depot? How many times have you gone to Home Depot, Kohl's, or wherever she goes, Costco's, and the local cafe, and gotten in fights with people?
And listen, it's not her crazy personality or her honesty, if there ever was any, or any of that people are turned off about. That's what drew me to her in the first place. What they're turned off about is getting lied to, getting just completely freaking burnt and annihilated the next day if they make one critical comment. That's why she has no friends. That's why she has zero loyalty in her life. There is not going to be any honest, true loyalty because she is not truthful. That's the problem I have with her.
Also, she can joke and brag about not having boundaries, but I think JoJo makes a good point here. She's obsessed by sex, which whatever,
Yeah.
But makes me feel sick that she's talking about it all in the earshot of her kid.
Absolutely.
And also that was the only thing I've ever said about her parenting was when she was saying that he's coming to unalive me, and then she turns around and says, "Can you let the cat out?" And then she turns about again and says he's about to unalive me. He's coming here in front of a 15-year-old child, and that is a child.
Yeah.
So that's freaking scary and wrong. And then the next day, it's like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
I mean, and then it happened again, just happened just when this went down, when our last interview in September. Oh, he's coming to kill me. Oh, he's a good guy, you guys. We made up. Everything's okay. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, are you freaking kidding me?
No.
Yeah. Killa says, thank you. And Alan. Yeah. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Phil. Yeah.
Love you, baby. I hope you're doing better.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I hope you're feeling good. It was great to spend time with her yesterday. She's looking so much better, and she's just done so much for this community. Love her. Killa, again, she doesn't know anything but bull baiting. She admitted on YouTube recording everything, and then she needs to check the law there. She also doesn't use the Second Amendment. Watch that video. Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to, I almost did play that part, but I don't want to mock her. I'm not trying to hit below the belt because I was brought up in a cult. I don't know what half of things are, but don't act like you know what you're fucking talking about when you don't, and nobody corrected her on it that I could see. I mean, yeah, it's just crazy. They'll all be like, yeah, next thing you know, they'll think that Jesus wrote the Constitution.
Yeah.
The Declaration of Independence. Just saying. I mean, don't be so damn lazy. We'll do a little bit of research. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I'm not. I know I'm not. midnight here. Okay, good night. Good night, full of hope.
Right.
Thank you for being here. Good night. Oh, it's midnight. Wow, over there. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not the smartest, but I try to learn. And if I don't know something, I fucking say I don't know something. I don't act like I know it, or I don't act like, I'm going to spin a yarn and tell, like I'm going to tell the truth when I'm telling a lie. I don't even think she knows at this point. I think she lies so much she doesn't know when she's telling the truth and doesn't know
Yeah.
when she's lying.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I
really
said. That's
sad.
what a habitual liar does.
Yeah.
Or they just start to believe it themselves, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm unstarring some of the insults because I'm trying to be mature, but part of me wants to just, read these comments about the fupa and shit, but I'm not going to, but damn it.
What?
I'm trying not to laugh, but Jesus, but she can call names and hit below the belt and be nasty, but we're not. We can't.
Hey, look, just like we said earlier, when Alan said, "Is it done?" I was like, "Yeah, it's done." I could have easily quietly just walked away, been done, and not watched her again, not give a crap, not nothing. But then I went back in the very next night just because I knew she was going to do it. And she was saying all these half things about me, half things about Barb Sylvie, and I'm like, oh yeah, this person's in my chat a lot, and you would know this person and all that kind of thing. And I'm like, you could have just shut up, and I would have backed away.
And she said
Alan
you're
would have
very
backed away.
inappropriate and all the things. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, duh. I mean, that was my freaking name, inappropriate. Obviously, I've learned a lot from that. As far as I regret a lot of the things that I said and did because I thought it was funny. But she's never ever even said she apologizes for anything that if she offended somebody or felt bad about going a little too far, in that area. But yeah, no shit, I'm inappropriate. I mean, no shit, like I admit all these things. I can admit all my faults, and she can't unless it's for one night to garner some super chats. And she might say, "Oh, I'm horrible. I'm everything they say," and blah blah blah. Another manipulation tactic. It is.
No, you're not. Here's some money to make you feel better.
Right. It's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Abraham says she knows now that her regular whales will keep making it rain. Yeah.
Yep.
And knows that can't even afford it too.
Yeah.
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 And so at this point, there's not much we can do about it except to say, you've been warned. You know what's going on. Pay attention to the duplicity, and think for yourself. And you could feel sorry for her all you want because she was a second gen and everything like that. Look, that's fine, but you can't condone the behavior when she knows what's right from wrong, even though she wants to claim she doesn't, because she knew. She was in the public. She dealt with public people, public relationships. Stop. Just stop.
Angie says she has to go live and cry about you guys because she has nothing else to talk about. She's got sex and sympathy farming, and that's it. Yeah, and you know what? I mean, she's live now. Let me look. I'm not going to click on it. I'm not going to give her one view. I don't give a shit what she's saying about me because I know it's all lies. But she's got 793 people watching. So she's got almost 800 people. You're welcome, Reese, because usually you'll have 300 or 400. So you're fucking welcome.
We're so generous to you, aren't we? We love you. We love you, Reese.
Hey, babe. Thanks, babe. Friendship tax.
Mwah.
The jesters don't even know or care who she is.
No. She's nobody.
Constance takes 2 hours to get to a 10-minute story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, while people are just lapping it up, trying to get her to say their name. It's just.
Oh, and it's not just that. There are some people out there that will just they thrive on the drama. They thrive on the, poor her. They see it. They view it as entertainment. So there's still going to always be those people. They'll be like, well, yeah, I know she's a liar, but I want to see what she's going to say next or do next. I mean, come on. That's just going to happen because some people that really aren't invested in our community haven't really made the friends that we've made in this community are watching it just for, she's a shock jock. That's all she is.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm still alive.
Julia said they are sending bad reviews to that restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what kind of
It's
crap
just a
is that?
mob.
They've never
Yeah.
been to that restaurant. They don't know what's going on. They don't know, the truth of it. They just want to believe everything she says.
Yeah, 2 steps out of the
Yeah.
restaurant to the attic, the bakery. I mean,
I think when I get there, we're going
unbelievable.
to go to their Hef, I think. To that,
Drive, do what? Drive what?
go to that Chatties and have something to eat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Why not?
Hey, Joel's here. Hey, she will find out someday that all of this crap she does will end with her being alone. No one will trust her. I include her son. Yeah, it's so sad. I predict she will be a lonely, sad woman, ends all alone.
Yeah.
Well, I hope not, but
Yeah, but she'll have what she's important to, and that's money.
yeah.
That's all she's worried about. That's all she cares about is money.
It's just so sad. I'm just going through the comments. There's so many, so I don't want to overwhelm you guys.
That's all.
Julia, high control group in her chat.
Absolutely. Been that way for a while.
I'm not sure what this means. Abraham, remember the time she said she was at some friend's house and she was supposedly at his brother? Lies. They were all at that lady's house in Tampa. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yep. That is true. Yeah. And there was no reason to lie about that. Nobody cared. It's the lies that people care about. And that's the thing, the deflection and always make it about something else. Always make it about, this one being jealous or that one being a hater or this one, using you for clicks and all that. Not trying to actually warn somebody to not give their money to a grifter, to a sad fisher, to what's the other one? Dry begging. Someone sent me. Every time I say dry begging, they like, you think of dry humping. And they sent me like a picture of like a polar bear and dry humping. I'm sorry. If I had to see it, you guys had to hear about it. Oh boy. All right. I think I'm done talking about her because she just makes me sick. Do you think Tommy is still taking drugs and to what extent? In your opinion? You think he is? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, like I said earlier, if you look at him now, how ashy looking he is, and the amount of weight he's lost, I mean, that kind of might tell you in its way. Now, if there's something else, liver failure or something of that nature, I mean, he would look the same, but he's not looking good. So, now's the time. You think God's not going to judge you? Your God's not going to judge you for what you've done? If you're on your last leg, and you know what I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he was when I was on the boat. Oh, I found out later that he was, but now I gather he still is. Yeah, I don't know for a fact. It's my opinion.
Obviously, Reese herself said that something was going on in the bathroom.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, I think, I think some of the truths that she comes out with is very telling. She'll tell those kind of truths if it benefits her.
And she said that the whole thing with the toilet seat and the licking the toilet seat and the thing with the bike and the handyman and accusing
and then it was
son and all that had happened 6 months prior when the last time they broken up. So she was like, oh, 6 months ago, blah, blah, and this motorcycle's still here, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so it's like you're just keep making the same mistakes and then also just endangering certain people and lying about it and blame shifting. It's like, I get that she to a degree is a victim, but she's not only a victim, she's also a perpetrator. And at what point do you run out of excuses? I think she's run out of excuses a long time ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kate K, she thinks her word vomit is normal. It's not. And they really stopped caring so much about her fake affection and started caring about themselves and other people and really thinking about it, is it really worth it? Is it worth feeding this person's ego?
No,
I don't
and
think so.
obviously it's been said before, he is a great public speaker, a great BSer. He'd
Mhm.
worked in that line of work for a long time. She come from Scientology, where the first thing is communication, a communication thing that they buy into.
Course, yeah.
Of course, yeah, she knows what she's doing. But they've got these great abilities, these great talents, and then they've chosen to use them this way. So that's the problem. That's the problem. No denying that they're really good at what they do, except obviously now things are getting unraveled. But if they weren't doing the things they were doing and lying and hurting people the way they did, then they would be a great success. And I would hope they would be millionaires off of YouTube. But they chose another route. They chose the con route.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you think people are going to get sick of her being like, oh yeah, those haters, and then people will like,
Do you know
yeah,
what?
we're in a cult, and yeah, everybody signed an NDA in blood. Like they're going to joke about haters
But listen,
for more
Marilyn,
years.
I can remember when I
Get
first
old.
started watching him is when I found out he said there was this horrible person that sent him an email every day saying they wish he would die unalive and overdose and all these kind of things. And I was outraged. Who would do that? There's this guy who's been making videos about me for 3 years. He's horrible. I was like, oh my God. I was pissed. I was like, who is this person? Later we found out it's Knife Hoarder, and it was not like that because I
And he
started
didn't give up. Right.
videos
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
started being put into place. I was
know.
outraged that there's going to be a cycle. There's going to be a cycle of new people coming in that don't know the history, that wasn't there from the beginning like we were, and she's going to end up fooling them, and they're going to become just as outraged that I was.
Yeah.
And then maybe
And I hate to say
hopefully
it.
they do the
I'm sorry.
truth.
I don't believe. I'm to the point where if people say that they had an unaliving threat, I don't really believe it anymore. And one of the reasons is because if anybody's going to get an unaliving threat, it's probably me, and I haven't gotten one. And I haven't made it up and said I got one. And if I got one, I would fucking show you guys. I wouldn't put, the address up, but I would show you. Because, come on, like, how are we supposed to believe that this is happening? Because that's a very serious accusation. Very serious.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And they're not the only one that's done that. So, if it's true, it's terrible, and it should be reported to the police. So
Sure.
yeah, I think that's just sometimes just used as like just to get sympathy, or people be like, oh my god, been reported to the
Absolutely it is.
police. So I think he's lying. I don't think that's true, and I know that Knife Hoarder didn't do that. So yeah.
Exactly. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but the video part, he never said who the emails were from, but when he said the videos, I later learned it was Knife Hoarder's videos. Let me make sure that was clear, not the threats.
Yeah. Joanna says, Alan is one of the nicest, most kind, genuine person you ever meet. And I absolutely agree with that. Both of you are just wonderful people. I've seen you in real life.
Come on, I
We've
can
spent
be a
many
really
days.
good-
We've spent many days together. Yeah, I know how you guys are, and you're wonderful. So, yeah. Keila, I do believe that. I know that to be true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that nobody did, but I'm just saying there are a few. Thinking about a year ago, somebody was claiming that, and the inside knowledge was that it didn't really happen. So yeah, I'm all about like show me the receipts,
Yeah.
before I get all up in arms about something. Elliot wants to know question. What's your take on the whole Q thing? Another grift?
Yeah.
I think-
I mean, Ethan Casper's come out and said he wasn't real, and I had my feelings about it because there was never any. As I said, you could redact all the names and put up his case file, and nothing was ever shown. I believe he came out with a video. It was on Gooch channel last week about saying that he's not going to say anything about Q again because of something. Because he wasn't real. No, I think it's a total lie.
Yeah.
George says T-Spirit made me sign an NDA. That's why I'm so nice in her chat. There was another one. Oh, here it is. Alan. George is being cheeky back there. And then he starts his own comments. I need to give him a cut and pay. Alan, if you need tips on arguing with Hef, give me a call. I can't guarantee any wins. It's been all losses for me so far, but I can tell you what not to do.
Oh, oh, don't drive me around like a madman.
That's exactly what I thought of first. Oh, thank you, Catalina. I'm with you, Marilyn. Thank you for standing up for us and yourself and always telling the truth. Thank you. Well, I'm going to spend time with my family tomorrow. It's Mother's Day. I'm not going to give this another thought until next week. You know, it's not going to be about Reese. I don't give a shit anymore. It's like, come on.
Yeah,
But it's like,
gonna
I'm
be
going to get all kinds. I'm going to get her minions in my comments. I'm going to probably lose some subs. And guess what? I literally don't give a fuck. I don't, because that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here for money and clicks and views. And I don't cry about subscribers. I certainly don't quit my fucking nonprofit volunteer work because I'm losing subscribers. And then lying about it and saying it's because I'm triggered by cheating. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah.
Listen, it's just to this point, all I can do is laugh, right? Like I'm hurting the victims, but I'm laughing at them because it's just so making it so obvious, the doubling down and all the things, the other tactics that they're using. I mean, guys, get on YouTube, Google things, Google what, how con artists work, how grifters work. There's a ton of information out there.
Yeah. That day that I did What is a Grifter? I didn't even mention her name. And that night it was, oh my God. Why? Because I exposed the con. I exposed what was happening. That video of that guy Irishman had no idea who the hell she is, but he pinpointed it down to the T what sad fishing and the dry begging was. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was saying about that documentary, I was like, oh my God, that is exactly, I see it. I see it happening in real time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's insane. Well, we could go on all day. We're over 2 hours and I'm going to have to pee at some point.
Yeah.
But thank you everybody for being here. Please just shower our friends with love here and in the comments. I'll make sure that they see all the comments. And if you can hit the like and subscribe, unsubscribe, unlike, whatever, you guys. You know what? This is the free country, free internet, free channel. What anybody wants to do is totally fine with me. So any parting words, you guys?
No, thank you for giving us time again.
Yeah. Anytime.
Just I want everybody to really, make up their own mind. And if they decide to stay with her, that's fine. But, we're not going to shut up until she shuts up about it, as far as I'm concerned. If she can't just shut up and move on, she's got to make fun and berate all the time, then, but at some point it's going to be a cycle, and I just don't care about her that much.
No, I don't give a shit, to be honest.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll hang out backstage for a minute, and we will talk to everybody soon. I'm going to play our after party outro. We'll do a rock and roll outro. How's that? Okay.
Sounds good. Bye, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.